4th of November. Zoom Master, thank you so much. I wanted to alert you to start the recording. Good evening. My name is Mohammed Ikrama, and I am the coordinator for the English rooms at Toastmasters Leadership Institute, TLI. Today is going to be an exceptional day and an incredible one for all of us because Toastmasters meetings are far beyond only coming and speaking. They are about skill acquisition. And today we're going to be learning all about what kinds of skills we can learn when we participate in a Toastmasters meeting and take up meeting roles. What does it mean to be a Toastmaster of the day? What does it mean to be a grammarian, an accountant, a general evaluator, a speech evaluator, and what kinds of skills are you learning from all of that? I am not going to be the one that will take you through today's meeting. We have a special person that's going to help you through that. And he is our evaluator for today. Our moderator for today. But before I invite him, I'm going to invite the division director for Division D to give us his opening remark. So please join me as I make welcome our division director, Division D, Distinguished Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba, to give us his opening remark. Distinguished Toastmaster Gimba, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Afterwork. Toastmaster Ikrama, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the warm welcome as well. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes to bring Afterwork to life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much for joining. I want to first of all start by acknowledging the presence of the TLI chair, distinguished Mr. Edith. Thank you so much to the district for the opportunity to co-host this edition of the Afterwork. Any district leader in the house, thank you, and I acknowledge their presence. Any other leader in the house, present leaders and past leaders as well, and fellow Toastmasters. Afterwork is really an avenue for us to unwind ourselves after a hard day's work. It's a Monday evening. It's an opportunity for us to learn from one another. And most importantly, it's an opportunity for us to grow as leaders and as well as members. There are often times in these after-work sessions that an idea is shared or an insight or a comment. It could be in passing or something that is said that is even outside of the scope of the presentation. But then it stays with you and it lingers. And that idea could change your life or change the way you see the world or even the way you interact with Toastmasters. And that's one of the reasons why I deeply respect these sessions, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from this session today. And I encourage us all to have an open mind. Let's get our notepads. You never really know what you could learn and what that one idea or what that one change could be that would affect you. So welcome once again to this session. I encourage you to learn as much as you can. I'm looking forward to learning, and I hope to see you at the end of the day as different people that we started this session. Thank you very much, and back to you, Mr. Ikrama.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Division Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gimba, for that wonderful remark. And now I'm going to introduce our moderator, who is going to take us through the remaining of the day. And he will steer us through the entire proceeding today at Afterwork sessions. Our moderator for the day is Toastmaster Michael Nosiri. He is the head of Bryden Limited, where he focuses on delivering dependable solar systems, CCTV security solutions, and tech-driven innovations services. His work reflects a strong interest in innovation and everyday efficiency. So please join me as I make welcome our moderator for today, Toastmaster Michael Nosiri.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Kramer, for that Wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's a round of applause for him. We appreciate all you do behind the scene, just like the division director has said. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, I greet you specially from any part of the world or the globe where you are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. Bonjour, bonsoir. It's going to be an exciting evening. It's another wonderful Monday where we're going to have an exciting moment of after work training put together by the Toastmasters Learning Institute of District 130. And I assure you, like every other session or series we have had in the past, this is not going to be an exception, or it is going to be an exception because we are also going to learn more things today, as usual. And to do this is going to be handled. Our trainer for this evening is no other person than a distinguished Toastmaster. In fact, I call her a double-digit distinguished Toastmaster. And I have the rare privilege of introducing our trainer for this evening, who joined Toastmasters in 2016. She is a chartered banker and a finance analyst. She enjoys dancing, volunteering, and taekwondo. She has served in various leadership capacities, including club president, area director, division director, and recently the District 130 finance manager. I'm not seeing applause in the chat room. Please note that your chat room is your best friend this evening. I'm not seeing applause. I think you should applaud her before I introduce her if you want her to really deliver as we expect this evening. And also note that after this session, we are going to be having a 10 minutes question and answer session. The session is going to last for 25 minutes by the trainer. So keep your questions coming. Drop them in the chat box. If you have questions, you can also reserve them to the end of the session. So as I continue, her mantra is Kaizen, which means continuous improvement, which is why she has earned the highly coveted Distinguished Toastmasters Award twice. Fellow Toastmasters, I think this distinguished Toastmaster deserves a rousing round of applause as I yield the lectern over to her to commence the training. Over to you, Toastmaster Chidi Chukwudi Madu, DTM.
Thank
The virtual
you most
lectern is yours, ma'am.
graciously, Mr. Moderator. Jolly good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope we're all excited to be here. There's no guests. Perhaps we might have one, who knows? But I'm excited to be here. I hope we are too. This evening, this is going to be a workshop. So this is not going to be, oh, Chidi is here to just come and talk. We'll have a workshop. It's going to be a workshop because it's going to be very interactive, right? What I aim to achieve today is to move us from that point of just playing roles for the sake of playing roles to actually doing what? Mastering the skills and understanding what we stand to gain when we play roles. Okay? So let me start by asking this question. Has anyone here not played a role? So if you are a member of Toastmaster and you've not played any role whatsoever at the club or any Toastmaster event, can I see you by indicating? Just raise your hand. Let me see. Let me see the bench warmers. Those who have not played role, who have not challenged themselves to play role. Can I see your hand? Nobody. So we've all played roles. That's actually interesting. Now the question, oh, Emmanuel, you haven't. Emmanuel, are you a Toastmaster? Yes, no? Feel free to unmute and reply. Are you a Toastmaster or are you a new Toastmaster? Are you a fresher?
Yes, I joined. No, no, I'm a Toastmaster. I just joined last month.
Last month, okay. So I can forgive you because you're fresh. In the world, we say, oh, you're a white chicken. You are yet to be. You're still a white chicken. But I would want to challenge you, and I hope that after today's session, you'll be challenged to actually take on a role and play a role, whether in Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters. So for me today, the focus is not just about the roles I would play within Toastmasters. It could be anywhere. It could be at the place of work. It could be called to lead a team. It could be called to act as the secretariat for a meeting. You could be called to moderate a session or facilitate a training or do an induction. It could be anywhere. But Toastmasters is your playground where you can practice, hone those skills so that when you go out and you begin to exhibit, people will start wondering like, wow, that's a transformation. What happened? How were you able to achieve this? And you can tell them, yes, I have a playground where I go to fine-tune these skills. Now, another question, how many of us here think that the skills that we learn in Toastmaster only happen when you're standing at a lectern and giving a speech? How many? How many of us think that you actually develop skills only when you stand at the lectern and deliver a speech or you speak to people? I don't see any hands. All right. So how many of us believe that we develop skills when we sign on to play roles, when we serve as club officers, when we serve in a committee? How many of us believe that we develop skills from those activities? Fantastic. Great. Right. Because the truth is the deeper skill development that we actually experience starts from not when you get to that point where you stand in front of people and you speak. There's a lot that go into our activities before you even go up there to speak. There are certain things that you've done, you've planned, you've mapped out your agenda, you've thought about what you would say, how you would say it, when you say it. You thought about how to switch your tone if you watch your audience and you feel like, oh, what I'm saying is not sinking in. All these are skills. The fact that you're planning, you're putting things together, that's organizational skills that you're developing right there. You're thinking about how to say what you say. That is you thinking about how to be coherent, that you're connecting with people on the level where they need to connect with you and understand and believe whatever you're selling to them. Right? So throughout the process of preparing for a session and executing any role, we are developing skills. Today, we'll look at some of those skills that we'll develop and then understand better why we should take on certain roles. I know a couple of friends in Toastmasters who shy away from certain roles. Not because they're not good at them, because they feel because they feel like, oh, what will I gain if I play this role? Forgetting that it's not only when you stand and you're the center of attention that you're developing skills. Now, there is something that is called a universal role playing circle, and the skills that come with it. And what is this? It's the actions that precede the actions that people see. So those little activities, those little planning that you do. So for example, our VP, for example, you're a vice president education in a club meeting. You have to engage with people. So you're developing some interpersonal skills. You're developing your confidence, your poise. You're developing your organizational skills. The fact that you engage members and get them to come play roles or come speak, those are skill developments. Does the VPE speak at every club meeting? No. Sometimes the vice president education does not even feature in a club meeting. Sometimes the vice president education does not even feature in any activity. But then when you're planning contests, and you're reaching out to people and getting them to come play certain roles, you're talking to club members to participate in the contest, you're pulling all these contest functionaries together, you're developing skills. interpersonal skills, you're developing your leadership skill, you're able to engage people, you become charismatic. Why? You become adaptable, you build your resilience. Because sometimes when you speak to people, they would not respond positively to you, but you don't give up. You continue to engage them. You speak to Mr. A in a Mr. A tone that would suit him. You go to Mr. B, you switch your tone because you know that the tone you apply to Mr. A will not apply to Mr. B. That is you being flexible and being adaptable. These are soft skills that will serve you anywhere in the world. Most times when you go to organizations and you want to play, you want to get a job, but you're already working in organizations. Most organizations these days don't look at your functional skills. It's those soft skills, those interpersonal skills, the active skills. Those are like active soft skills that sell you before you sell yourself. Right? Now, let me ask this question. And I want us to please feel free, use the chat box. I want this chat box to be very active this night because there's going to be a lot of question and answer. All right. So my question now is, I want somebody to outline the roles that you think you need to play if you want to develop active listening. If you want to develop an active listening skill, what role should you play? Now, let's look at it within the Toastmasters contest. And don't restrict it to just club meetings. Think about all the activities we do in Toastmasters: club meetings, contests, open house, conferences, the hangouts, all of it. So just think about what role do you think will help you develop active listening? Emmanuel says art counter. That's fantastic, right? Which says speech or table topics evaluator. Good. Evaluator, secretary. Fantastic. I need more. Art counter, listen evaluator, judge in contests, evaluators. That's Lazarus. Fantastic. Grammarian evaluator, listen evaluator. All right. General evaluator, judges. Okay. So what about a moderator? What about a moderator? What about the Toastmaster of the day? What about the timer? Do you think you develop active listening from these roles? What about the president of a club officers? Absolutely, Liz. All roles. Because any role you take up requires what? Active listening. Now, let's take it a notch higher. What roles do you think would help you develop your confidence? What roles do you think will help you develop your confidence? Let me see. Timer, TMOD. All the roles, absolutely. But there are certain roles that are very quiet that you feel like, what am I gaining from this? Right? So, for example, there are certain people who would not want to play the timer role because they're like, I'm not going to be here and be recording people speaking. And that's it. Some people shy away from playing the art counter role. Some people run away from grammarian role because they feel like, I want to be listening to people's grammar. How am I sure I'm going to be able to pick out something from the meeting to say, oh, yes, this was good, this was bad? How do I begin to make that differentiation? When you talk of club users, the role of a secretary sometimes is very quiet because what does a secretary do? Most times, when you talk about, which executive role is out there? President, vice president education, vice president public relations, vice president membership. And sometimes that's it. The treasurer, we have a treasurer when it's time to pay dues. In some clubs, they don't even remember they have a secretary. Why? Because not all clubs have that habit of having minutes of meetings. But you see, that is one role. You see that role of a secretary? That is one role that gives you a 360-degree personal development. Because Everywhere, you are an active member of any committee. You're an active member of everything happening. You're the one who is you're basically the brain of the club. While the VP is the powerhouse, you are the brain. Because sometimes the VP still have to leverage what the things that you know, your documentation and co. Being able to write, we're lazy writers as humans, most of us. But the fact that you're able to write and write in a way that is legible and that it makes sense, that is a skill that is being, I mean, people will pay through their nose to get someone who's able to actually write. No. So some of the skills that we develop through role playing, and when I say role playing, it's general because, okay, let me even start. Role playing, first off, in Toastmasters is what? Primarily to assignments or elections, or when you are put forth, somebody comes to you, like, I need you to come play this role for me. And what planning this, can you come in and do this? And what does it help us do? It helps you as a person to develop your communication and your leadership skills, right? It helps you develop those communication skills that are very crucial, those soft skills. It helps you develop hands-on skill, like hands-on experience. So when you're out there selling yourself, you're not speaking inspirationally. Let me just speak for the sake of speaking. No, you're speaking from experience. The fact that I have done this. If you're a Toastmaster of the day and you've played that role and you've mastered that, you will understand that the Toastmaster of the day role is one that requires planning, requires time management, requires a huge skill of moderation, requires adaptability, requires resilience, requires that active listening. It helps you build your poise and your confidence. It helps you manage people because you're going to be the one who's moving people like chess, like parts on a chessboard. Those skills, when you go out and you want to speak about them, you're not going to be speaking about them abstractly. You're speaking about them because, from a place of experience, hands-on experience, that I have done this and I understand what it means for me. I know so many Toastmaster members who have gone on in their place of work and have received awards, not because, oh, they're Toastmaster members, because they've taken those skills that they've developed in Toastmasters, they've taken it out and they've begun to apply it to their lives professionally, personally. So when you take up roles, don't take up roles for the sake of, oh, let me just go play this role. Take up that role, understanding that there are certain skills that you will learn from those roles. And some of those skills are, number one, your public speaking and your presentation. And when I say presentation, it's not just only when you use a slide and come and present. I'm not using slides today, and it's deliberate because I want us to understand the fact that you can actually present without using slides. So when you are a role player, a timer, for example, you're definitely developing your public speaking and your presentation. And how can you achieve that? It's by challenging yourself to say, when it's my time to speak, I'm going to treat this as though I'm going to present a speech. How many minutes do I have? You've got 1 to 2 minutes. So that's basically a prepared table topics because it's not impromptu for you. You take time to prepare and then you come and you present it. You're not just going to say, oh, every speaker has 5 to 7 minutes and then table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. No, it's you introduce yourself. All the Toastmasters as introduced are meant to serve as a timer. My role today is to do X, Y, Z. And when you come at the end to present your report, you're not just reading out the times. Speaker 1 use 5 minutes. Speaker 2, no. If you do that, what are you gaining from it? What is the skill you're developing from there? But if you put that down and you're able to develop it into a proper report, imagine this is your place of work and you have to give a report. How would you present it? So you have another 1 to 2 minutes to now present your report. It's not impromptu for you because you have time to put it together. You think about what recommendation can I give to help people improve. That way, you're not just giving out your report, but you're presenting an evaluation, which is what you are, because you are on the team of the general evaluator. You're giving feedback on the meeting. So when you give your reports and let us the expectation and the actual achievement and how to improve on this, you have done what? You've listened actively, you have organized your words, you have done a presentation, and you have delivered it with confidence and with poise. Another skill that we develop is that impromptu speaking skill. Sometimes you have to take up roles that you are not prepared for. Or maybe grammarian is running late or has network issues, and you have to step in. Sometimes you're in a meeting and you're a table topic respondent. You're developing what? Your impromptu speaking skill. Because that's what table topics is. Some of us shy away from it, but even as the table topics master, you find out that you're developing your impromptu speaking skill. Why? Because you give out the question, but you do not know what that person is going to respond to. And you're expected to do a mini summary to show that you listen actively. So the fact that you're listening to the person, you're putting your thoughts together, and you're able to highlight something from that speech shows that you listen actively, shows that you have that you're developing your impromptu speaking as well. You're developing impromptu speaking, active listening. So impromptu speaking definitely is not just for table topics. It could generally be for everybody who is in that meeting. Another skill that we develop is time management. And this has to do with all the roles, all the club officer roles, all the roles you play. Even in this meeting, moderator, myself, everybody has to do what? Have that time management skill development, because this meeting is structured to happen within a specific time. The training is structured to happen within a specific time. Q&A is going to happen within a specific time. So if you're able to tie and manage yourself and work within that time, then definitely you're developing your time management skills. When you're evaluating a speech, when you're presenting a speech, when you're on the general evaluators role team, anything you do within Toastmasters, really, it's helping you build your time management skills. And you can take that outside of Toastmasters. What else? Constructive feedback. When you give feedback to members in a club meeting, outside of a club meeting, even here, you have to be constructive about it, which is why Toastmaster has the CRC method. And this is a skill that is vital in the workplace. In the professional spaces, a lot of people struggle with giving feedback to colleagues, to their subordinates, to their supervisors. They struggle with it. Because you think, oh, how should I say this thing to that person that would not rub the person off the wrong way? But you have the master plan here, CRC. So when you're able to master that skill of constructive feedback, you know that you can take it out and use it to shine. Why? What it does to you is it helps your professional development and then helps you with managing your performance review within your workspace. Another skill that I want to talk about is interpersonal communication and empathy. I will not forget empathy. Why? Because empathy helps you put yourself in someone else's shoes. If you're empathetic towards somebody, then you would be able to tweak your tone, your language, your vocal, everything about how you communicate with that person. You'll be able to adapt it to that particular situation and scenario, time and place. Knowing that, oh, if I'm brash with A, I cannot be brash with B. A can take it, B cannot take it. And that is where also interpersonal skills comes in, because it would help you to manage some conversations that are difficult. It will help you mediate conflicts. It will help you understand different perspectives. And then you can then begin to adapt your communication style to them. And that will help you develop and build your empathy. And then when you go out to the world and you begin to exhibit these things, it will look like, oh, it's rocket science, but you know it's not rocket science. You know, it's something that you've done over and over and you've been able to develop it. I've talked about confidence and poise, right? When you're within Toastmasters, I say Toastmasters is non-judgmental. When you have that particular opportunity to practice repeatedly in a non-judgmental space, what does it do for you? It boosts your confidence. It helps you manage your nerves. Some of us are very shy and very scared when we want to speak to people. But the fact that you have a space where you're able to speak, you play your roles, you do all those things, it helps you boost your confidence. And before you know it, you go from stuttering with all the R's and ums to actually owning your speak and speaking. And we're like, wow, definitely there is a change. Definitely there is that impact. Timer, please prompt me when I have 5 minutes to go, right? Please just prompt me because I'm not seeing the timer's card. I do not want to overshoot time, all right? So these are some of the skills that we can develop, right? Okay, let's not talk about this. So when you talk about planning, being able to prioritize, being able to schedule things, these are also skills. So Mr. Moderator in this meeting, for example, definitely has taken time to work not just within himself, work with the larger team to be able to understand what's the expectation, what do we want to take away from this after work, and that's what has guided us to this point. Okay, and the fact that we're going to be able to give instructions or reports or feedbacks, those are skills. So I could just run through the different skills, but the question is, do we understand how we can develop them? You cannot develop them by just playing Toastmaster of the Day once and say, yes, I'm nice to pastor. No, it has to be repeated. You cannot develop it by just playing one specific role. No, you have to. So today in a club meeting, you're playing timer. Tomorrow, you could be playing grammarian. The next, you could be art counter. By the time you have that flexibility and you move around these roles, and there's an opportunity to function in a project or work in a team, and you show yourself up and say, yes, I want to take that job, then definitely. Now, question. Who thinks that the Toastmaster of the day, okay, let me put it this way. Between the Toastmaster of the day and the general evaluator role, which of these roles has the biggest facilitation opportunity? And if you think another role has it, please feel free to share. So in the chat box, please drop which role, Toastmaster of the day or general evaluator, has the biggest facilitation role. If you think it's another role, please let me know. Just put it in the chat box. Let's see. Okay, Toastmaster Michael says general evaluator. Yabuli says general evaluator. Emmanuel says Toastmaster of the day. Okay? Toastmaster of the day. Another is CTM. All right, okay. Okay, so let me ask. Is there anybody here who thinks that the timer has the biggest facilitation role in a Toastmasters meeting? Anybody thinks the timer has? Nobody. Okay. So we're correct. General evaluator, Toastmaster of the day. But I was hoping to see timer in there, but I'm not seeing timer. But the timer also has a huge facilitation role. How? The timer is the one who facilitates the session adherence and helps the speakers to succeed. Without the timer, how do you know when to start, when to stop? Facilitation does not just mean that opportunity to speak. You could actually facilitate a session without saying a word. How? The timer has a big facilitation role. At the start of the meeting, if timer comes and tells you, this is the time that we expect for this to happen, you have to adhere to that. Because if you don't, what will happen? The timer will flash you the red card. And if you care, I've been in some meetings where they just mute your microphone and say, okay, that's it. The Toastmaster of the day absolutely facilitates the flow of the meeting. The general evaluator facilitates the functionaries, the meeting functionaries, and helps them succeed. So the timer facilitates adherence and helps the speakers to succeed because they have to keep their eye on him. The Toastmaster of the day facilitates the flow. The general evaluator facilitates the feedback period. So you see that facilitation is a core skill that we develop. And it's not only when you speak that you actually facilitate. Does anybody agree with me? Anyone? Or do you think you must speak to facilitate a meeting? Must you speak to facilitate a meeting? I'm not seeing any response. Good. All right. So where do we place mentors? Where do we place mentors in this scheme of things? Skill development. Where do mentors fall in? When you are a mentor, you're developing what? Your ability to coach, your ability to, your empathy, you're developing empathy, you're developing your interpersonal communication, developing facilitation, your time management, confidence points, all of those, you're developing them. Because sometimes we forget that there are mentors in our midst. Even those of us who are mentors, sometimes we don't even remember our mentors. We don't remember them until we need something. Sometimes, even me, sometimes I don't remember my mentor until like, yes, I did something. Where's my mentor? But even as a mentor and as a mentee, this is not just for mentors, as a mentee, you're also developing that skill of what? Time management, interpersonal communication, right? People management, project management. These are skills that we develop. Active listening, your ability to form your words and respond, your ability to manage a group, your adaptability. So these are skills that we develop when we play roles in Toastmasters. So when you have the opportunity to play a role, no matter how minute or mundane you think it is, what you should think about is, what will I gain from this? What skill can I develop from this? And once you understand the fact that, yes, there's a skill to develop, then definitely you will. Logistics, management, control, structure. If you look at all the roles from Toastmaster of the day to timer, these are skills that you also develop. Your observation, you're being able to synthesize activities and weave them together or break them down to understand why and how, and then being able to share that view. When you're an evaluator, you're observing, you're noticing things, you're noting it down. You're tying A to B and understanding that, oh, this happened because of this. Especially when you're maybe evaluating the speech and you already have the outline. You've read through it, you understand it. You're listening actively, you're observing that person, you're planning. You're looking at time. You're also going to be managing time because you're going to have to speak within a structured time. You're developing those skills. Right? What else is, right? There's this thing that we take for granted sometimes. That's time, or that's ability to interact with people. Ability to interact. So 3 minutes gone. All right. So I'm just going to round up. Your ability to interact. That is one skill that sometimes we tend to overlook. And we take it for granted. Why? Because within Toastmaster space, you're able to chat to people. Some people are very shy. Some people get tongue-tied when they are engaged with more than one person. One-on-one, yes, they can have conversation, but adding an extra person and they are lost. So ability to interact, when we're playing a role and you're to sign up for a role, you're interacting with people, you're building that ability to interact with, so that when you go out, you're able to interact with no matter the number of people that are within that space. So I will close by saying this: when you sign up for a role, rather challenge yourself to sign up for a role, but don't play that role to check the box because, oh, the club needs me to play this role. Is think about, what are the skills that I can gain from this? And then you can begin to note. What I will do after now is I will share, I have a slide that's got the different roles and the different skills that you develop from them. I will share it with the moderator and it's going to go out to everybody. So you have that and you can begin to say, oh yes, this skill, these are the skills that I can develop when I play XYZ role. And that can help you begin to appreciate these roles more and help you understand how you can gain these hands-on skills so that when you go out professionally and you want to engage, you know that, yes, I have these skills, I have practice, I have developed them, and I can do what? Begin to exhibit them. Right? Thank you. I think it's Q&A time. I don't think we have 10 full minutes for Q&A again, but if you have any question, please, now is the time for that. Thank you. Mr. Moderator. Over to you.
Sorry, I was thrown out briefly. DTM Chidi, are you done?
Yes, you said it's
Oh,
Q&A
okay.
time, right? Yes.
Okay, yeah, apologies. I was thrown out briefly. Please, a round of applause for our double-digit DTM. You can't listen to her and not get carried away. It's not possible. And that's part of the training we have in Toastmasters. I mean, they said the evidence of knowledge is an improved outcome. And that is what has been exuded in this 25 minutes of training. It's question and answers time. We have just 2 minutes to take question and answers. If you have any questions, please kindly drop it in the chat box. Any questions, please? Any questions? Okay, so I take it that there is no question. All is well understood. Thank you so much, our double digits DTM. Chidi Chukudi Madu, DTM. Thank you so much for that insightful expose of our role plays. Oftentimes we take these things for granted that we don't know what it actually does for us. Like I always tell people, the Toastmaster program is creatively designed to teach you every single way or every single part of your journey. So you don't take it for granted. Amongst the role plays, who play more of logistic exercise? Okay, I think we'll just take that question. Let's just give that benefit of taking that question. DTM Chidi, there's a question in the chat box. Amongst the role players, who play more of the logistic exercise? 1 minute, please. Let's just take advantage of that and move on. I can't hear you. Are you sure you're not muted? Is it from my end? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think my microphone
Okay,
was
fine.
muted.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So among the role players who play more of logistics exercise, well, I would say of all the role players, now in terms of role within a club meeting, the logistic bit, if you look at the timer and the Toastmaster of the day, if you look on the executive office bit, you're looking at the vice president education and your sergeant at arms. Sometimes we forget sergeant at arms has a key role to play in every meeting within and outside. So sergeant at arms, vice president education, within role players within the Toastmaster, so we'll talk about the Toastmaster of the day, because you have to think about how the entire meeting is going to come together. And then also the timer, because the timer is the one who focuses on the adherence of time management and all the other elements that goes to make sure that it's a successful meeting. So those are the key role players who play more of that logistics exercise.
Okay, thank you very much for that brief answer. Thank you so much. I hope you got the message. Toastmaster Paul. Unfortunately, we may not be able to take more questions now, so perhaps we will have to take the remaining questions offline because we've gone past our time for question and answers. So now we shall be moving on to the next on our agenda, which is the toasts. And the toast shall be handled by a gentleman I hold very close to my heart, who is a business development strategist and the director of commercials at Dakada Skills Acquisition Center. With academic grounding in human anatomy, psychology, business management, and strategic leadership, he brings a unique blend of science and strategy to leadership and organizational, and has been committed to personal enthusiasts who loves to learn and yields the virtual lectern to you to take the toasts. Over to you, Toastmaster Ubon. Please kindly join me and welcome into the virtual lectern.
Thank you very much, the moderator of the night. Gentlemen, ladies, I don't have to waste your time, but please, you can do well to fill your glasses with your foamy stout, your bloaty beers, your sparkling champagnes, bubbling champagnes rather, and your sparkling water. And if you're the kind that loves sweet things, you can do it with fruit juice. Toastmasters, let's raise our glasses as we rise to respect to each other, as we rise to integrity in whatever we do, as we rise to service to humanity, as we rise to excellence in leadership and communication. Let's drink to Toastmasters, a club like no other. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Cheers to you.
Thank you so much. Wow, that's amazing. Toastmaster Ubon. We want to relive our experience in Uyo, our national conference. Stop tormenting us. Thank you so much for that wonderful toast. Thank you so, so much. A rousing applause for him. We're moving on to our next on the agenda, and that shall be handled by no other than our District 130 info. It shall be handled by Toastmaster Mohammed Ikrama. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator, for doing such a wonderful job today. I am back with the district news. And what do we have for you today? The district news covers all aspects of the district. And today, we're going to be looking at first off, the Humorous and Table Topics contest, which is the autumn contest. We have scaled through the club contest, we've done the area, and now the division contests are ongoing. Remember, this contest does not go beyond the division, so it's a wrap. And many divisions are wrapping up. Some divisions are going to reach the end of their own contests by the end of this month. And these contests have to be physical. Secondly, I'm going to garnish your day with a wonderful quote from Toastmasters Mentorship. It's a Toastmasters Mentorship awareness tip. A great Toastmasters journey is built upon mentorship. A mentor lights the path while the mentee walks with purpose, and together they grow in better they grow into better communicators and leaders. So if you have not picked up a mentorship role, I encourage you to go back to your club, talk to your vice president education, and pick that role today. And their Toastmasters and even guests. The District 130 conference is coming up on May 21st and 23rd. So from May 21st to May 23rd, 2026. And it's going to take place in Gabon. Start saving up, book your flights, get your visas and your passports ready, because in 2026, we're all going to Gabon. Finally, we have the upcoming monthly education series, which is going to take place on the 27th of November. So just 3 days from today, we are going to have the education series from the Club Growth Directorate. And this one is about the club building master plan. We're going to have this training by Distinguished Toastmaster Alasan and Distinguished Toastmaster Isa Madugu. Finally, this is the news from the district, and thank you so much. Now, my second role is to take you through whether you know your district, the divisions in your district well or not. And we are going to find out today. Do you know the divisions in your district? If you don't, we will find out. If you do, we're going to find out who the winner is going to be. I'm going to be displaying a slide to that regard. Okay. Can everybody see my slide? All right. So tell us, how many clubs are there in Division B? Anybody? How many clubs are there in Division B? You can respond in the chat box or unmute and respond. So we take your record. How many clubs are there in
16.
Division B? How many?
16.
16. Please, who is talking? Can you say your name so I can?
Josephine Agolo.
Okay, this was Josephine. All right, any other person with other answers? Josephine said 16, and our Zoom master said 16. Okay. How many areas are in Division B? How many areas are in Division B? Okay, Zoom master said 5. Any other person?
4.
4. Josephine?
Yes, please.
All right.
Seconded, 4.
Okay, who said 4 seconded?
Paul Abbey.
Okay, we're going to find out. Then Division D. How many clubs are in Division D?
28.
Omo.
28. DJ Paul, today you are left
Ade.
behind.
Let me call
Okay.
the host.
All right. How many areas are in Division D?
6.
6 areas. All right. So, moment of truth. Let's find
Seconded.
out how many. Okay. We have 16 clubs and 4 areas in Division B. Then we have 28 clubs and 6 areas in Division C. Josephine, how many did you win? You won one.
I won both.
She won 1.5.
Oh. All right. Congratulations. Josephine is our winner. You are going to receive your gift. We'll reach out to get your email address, and your gift is this book. You're going to receive the soft copy of it, The Secrets of Millionaire Mind, Mastering the Inner Game of Love. It's going to be sent to you.
Thank you. The district is
Along with
owing me 2 books now. You can help me inform them. 2 books.
Okay, please send me your email address and we're going to send you the books. Congratulations. And this brings me to the end of
Thank
my
you.
session. What's you, Mr. Moderator? Mr. Moderator, you are muted.
Wow, thank you so much for that wonderful session, for that wonderful rendition. Congratulations once again to Toastmaster Josephine Agolo, the lady that learned how to pronounce her name in Toastmaster, the things that Toastmaster does for us. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muhammad Ikrama. Please, a round of applause for him for that beautiful rendition of that session. At this moment, we are going to be moving on to our next session, which is the final session, the final lap of our journey this evening. And it's going to be the room. If we have, okay, I can't.
Is it only me or did we lose our moderator?
It's not on you.
Okay. All right. So the next session is going to receive final words from the division director, Division D. Please join us in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba. DTM Gimba, any final words?
Okay. Uh, thank you so much, Toastmaster Ikrama. Thank you so much, everybody. I had a lot of fun. You know, at the beginning, I said that it's very important to keep an open mind. You never really know what you could learn that would change everything for you. And today I got another one. Apparently, all these roles that we're playing in Toastmasters really do have benefits that would benefit us individually. And by that, I mean extending to our personal and professional lives. So thank you so much for that session. Thank you for, the quality of the engagement. Thank you for the organizers. Thank you to TLE chair. Thank you to the trainer. Host. I don't know. I get confused by that term. I want to say toast. Toaster. So thank you so much. Sessions. We thank the district for this opportunity. We don't take it for granted. And we look for some Ikrama.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Didi Extraordinaire, for that wonderful closing remark. And to everybody that has played a role today and has helped put together these afterwork sessions, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Michael Nosiri, for being a wonderful and an incredible moderator. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Chidi Chukudimadu, for that wonderful training. It brought to light so many things that we need in Toastmasters that will fuel our desire to play roles and also reignite that reason that brought us to Toastmasters in the first place, the willingness and the yearning to grow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ubong Iang, for that wonderful toast. I like the way you were able to put together the Toastmasters core values and have us throw a toast to that. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody, for participating and engaging in the chat box. And a very big thank you to the TLI chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Edith Waha, who is always up and doing and putting together this to ensure that we have seamless experiences. And thank you so much to our Zoom master, District 130 Zoom master. I didn't capture the name, but thank you so much. You did an extraordinary work today, and we cannot tell you how much we are grateful. So thank you so much. And this brings us to the end of the Afterwork sessions, 24th of November, 2025. Until next month, and we meet at the next Afterwork sessions. So everybody can now turn on their mic, turn on their videos, and unmute their microphones to say hellos and share camaraderies. Zoom master.
Ikrama.
Yes,
Christmas is here. Christmas is here. People are still doing TLI. We are going on Christmas. We are protesting. From December, no more meeting. From December, no more meeting.
Okay, I'll make sure that the TLI chair gets the message.
Is Chidi gone? Chidi, I still have some strong argument for Sergeant at Arms. They are mostly neglected in a typical Toastmasters meeting. And if you go beyond, even when you do contests, you must need a Sergeant at Arms. I think they play more of the logistic role than any other team. They get the meeting together, they control the crowd, and a lot of times